it is officially the night before I fly to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. This is my little hotel room in Tokyo. I fly out really early tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna attempt to get some sleep, but that's always a little difficult for me when I'm heading off on a big adventure, especially one as new and crazy as this one is. I have never done anything like this before, let alone by myself. I just can't believe it's happening and it's tomorrow, and I'm just feeling a lot of emotions, so I'm gonna attempt to sleep now. I need to get up at like 5, but yeah, let's go to Vietnam. Alright, it's my first morning here in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City to be specific. And the reason I'm walking around with my giant backpack on in the middle of the city is because I'm about to go get my motorbike. And I don't want the first time I ride on it with my my whole luggage on the back to be tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna practice today, so we'll see how this goes. Walking through the streets of Ho Chi Minh City for the first time gave me my first real taste of what I was getting myself into. But I'm not going into this totally unprepared. I actually learned how to ride an automatic motorbike in Bali about a year ago and spent a couple weeks navigating through the traffic of Canggu and the hills of Uluwatu, so I was pretty optimistic that the locals at Style Motorbikes could teach me what I needed to know for this new challenge. Okay, so I'm here with my friend Huang, and we are in a more peaceful part of town, so I can learn how to ride a semi-auto. It's been about a year since I've ridden a bike. So you know, it's been a year. So we're gonna see how this goes. But I've got an awesome teacher on my hands, so wish me luck.
All right.
Learning how to ride a semi-automatic motorbike for this trip was pretty much a non-negotiable, especially since I'm planning to visit some of the more rural, mountainous areas in Vietnam, and it was actually a lot easier to learn than I thought it would be. For this trip, I'll be riding a Honda Wave 110cc that I rented for $275 USD for 2 months, and I'm planning on dropping it off at their office in Hanoi at the end of my trip. The people here are incredible, and they spent an hour helping me plan out my route, and since I rented the bike instead of buying it, they'll be able to provide any support that I need if something goes wrong on the road, which, spoiler alert, it does. Okay, so it's about 5:50 a.m. and I'm walking to the parking garage where I parked my bike last night, and we're gonna get out of this city as quickly as possible. Okay, I'm all strapped on, and we'll see how much filming I get done. The priority this morning is getting out of the city in one piece. Not to be dramatic, but we got this. There are more than 8 million motorbikes in Ho Chi Minh City, and the traffic speaks for itself. I tried getting out of the city before things got too crazy, but around 7 a.m., I found myself merging onto a 6-lane highway in the height of rush hour traffic. To stay focused and calm my nerves, I started playing a game called Follow the Local, where I would basically mimic the rider in front of me until I became familiar with the rhythm and unspoken rules of the road. I did this for about 2 hours until my silly little game led me to my first friend of the trip.
I usually come here when I come to my hometown.
Yeah, I figured you had a spot. Say hi to my GoPro.
Hello.
So this is Chung, and why did you stop me on the bike? He stopped me on the bike and asked where I was going, and then we ended up riding together to this hammock cafe.
Again.
Yeah.
Again, I see on your mouth. It's the same way in my hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you saw on my map we were going the same direction. We're going to the same place where I'm staying in the national park as his hometown.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So we've stopped at a hammock cafe, which are apparently all along the roads in this part of Vietnam, and it's just a nice place to come and relax. There's some shelter and obviously hammocks and snacks and drinks. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this because, yeah, my butt hurts, my back hurts. I have about 2 hours left till I get to my homestay. What is it?
Bánh gai.
Bánh gai.
Yeah, it's a cake.
It's a cake.
Vietnamese traditional
Okay,
cake.
I just like
Yeah.
messy.
No, delicious. Rare. I really like it.
Ooh. Yeah. It's like candy.
Yeah.
I was so happy to meet such a friendly face this early on in my trip. He even insisted that I wear his jacket to protect my skin from the relentless sun for the next hour and a half until it was time to part ways.
If you have some problem in here, you can call me here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me borrow this.
Okay,
you are the best. Okay,
bye.
great.
See you
Bye.
later. Okay, see you later.
See you later. Big first day. I'm honestly so proud of myself for making it as far as I did and getting out of Ho Chi Minh City unscathed. I was on the road total about 5-ish hours. The first hiccup that happened was, I think, like less than an hour in. It was on the highway and a bunch of bikers were honking at me and pointing to the back of my bike, and I look and the bungee cord, one of the bungee cords was like dragging on the ground, so I guess I hadn't hooked it properly. So I quickly pulled over, fixed that, and got right back on the road. And then the second one, I turned my GoPro off right before it happened, but it was at the stoplight that you see here, and basically I thought that my friend was going and he wasn't, so I kind of revved my thing and I bumped the back of his tire, and when that happened I lost balance because I thought I was going to go forward and the whole bike just went onto the ground in the middle of the street. But luckily, he and one other person ran to my rescue immediately and helped me pull the bike up because it was too heavy. I wouldn't have been able to do it myself. Got it up and then was on my way. But that was a little stressful because there were trucks and everyone was honking all around me. But honestly, driving into my homestay where I am now, I was so relieved. I sat down and told him that I had barely eaten all day, and he hooked me up with such a feast. It was so good. I tried to eat as much of it as I possibly could. And I checked into my room. It's super cute. And yeah, this whole area is just absolutely beautiful. We're in like this lush jungle oasis right next to Cat Tien National Park. Who is the cutie? Yeah. Oh.
One em.
Making some fire?
Bạn tôi.
Yeah?
Yes, all them.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Boom. What's your name?
Sure.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. Bạn tôi. What's your name?
Huh? Crosby.
Ồ, tôi năm lâu chưa?
The next city on the way to Hoi An is a beautiful mountain town called Dalat, and I had two choices. Either take the direct route and get there tonight, or take the scenic route and add another day to my trip. You can guess which one I chose. Wow, what an incredible morning. The fog has cleared, the sun is out, and the view is just absolutely incredible. I just can't believe I'm here. This is so gorgeous. It's so lush. The Central Highlands is one of the most underrated areas of Vietnam, and Ta Dang Lake is the highlight of this region. It's here where I got my first real taste of Vietnam's mind-blowing natural beauty. I am exhausted. I've been driving, I think, for the last 3.5 hours. So I decided to stop at this gorgeous cafe overlooking such a beautiful view. This is kind of the views that I'm going to be getting tonight at where I'm staying, but I think they're going to be better. I'm so excited. This area is stunning. I'm really happy that I decided to make the stop between the national park and Dalat because this area is just spectacular. Hello. Hi. Nice Nice to meet you. Oops, sorry, I'll take this off. So this was the first time ever that I have shown up to an accommodation with no reservation. I'm usually such a planner, which was a big reason why I wanted to do this trip, was to practice spontaneity, and it's working out for me. This is truly one of the most beautiful views I've ever seen, and it's right outside of my door. The intention behind this adventure is more than just a desire to see the Vietnamese countryside. It's about doing something completely new and totally outside of my comfort zone and resisting the urge to try and control everything. Years ago, when my life was ruled by anxiety and fear of the future, I was terrified of spontaneity and flexibility. They made me feel like I was losing control over my life, but what I've realized over the last few years is that control is nothing more than an illusion we tell ourselves. And I have this theory that if we stop trying to control everything and instead trust that everything is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to, that we will open ourselves up to a more beautiful and peaceful way of living, even if we can't see it in the moment. No. Well, not loving the current situation. Of course, literally the road that goes to my homestay is the scariest part of my whole day. I don't know if I'm psyching myself out, but like, it is really steep. I don't know if you can tell, it's really steep and narrow. And I am just so worried that I'm gonna like lose control and like crash into a wall. So I'm gonna go see if someone at my homestay can help drive it down.
You want to sit on?
Oh, no. Thank you. Well, he did that like it was nothing. It's very hilly here in Dalat. He was telling me it's 1,500 meters. So it just has all these tiny, steep alleys to get everywhere. So, all right, safe and sound, thank you. So I booked a 3-person mixed dorm at this hostel/homestay. And on Hostel World, it said that there's only 3 beds left in the 3-bedroom dorm. So I was like, this might be a $5 private room. And as of right now, it is. He told me to pick any bed, so I'm gonna pick this one. It does have curtains, which I love in case somebody does come. And then for my favorite part, look how gorgeous this is. Here is the outdoor terrace/succulent garden. The owners sell these online. How stunning with this view. And then in here is the bathroom, shower, toilet, hot water during the morning, but otherwise it's solar heated. Loving it, and especially loving that he helped me get my bike in. It's one of those things like I probably could have done it, but if I took a wrong turn at all or lost control, I would have kept going. Like I could not stop the bike because it's so steep and the bike is so heavy with all my stuff. So I was just like seeing that happening in my brain and I just, yeah, couldn't do it, but no regrets. It is so beautiful here. I really didn't know what to expect coming here at all. Like I said, I've done very little research. This is a very spontaneous trip. It just leads to moments like this where I am just so pleasantly surprised by a place that I knew nothing about. I spent the rest of the afternoon exploring Dalat and couldn't resist checking out the infamous Crazy House, which was honestly really cool and totally worth the visit. Okay, so here is where I started in Ho Chi Minh. First day I drove this way to the national park, and then last night I stopped like halfway in this long mountain route. This is the more direct route, but I took the beautiful scenic route, stopped about here, and then today I drove the rest of the way to Dalat. Tomorrow we are gonna drive another 130 kilometers to Nha Trang. Tomorrow probably won't be as scenic as today. It's hard to top the mountain views of today. But once I get to Nha Trang, I will be driving north up the coast for like 2 or 3 days. And pretty much until I get to Hoi An almost. And yeah, that's gonna be a whole new scenery, environment, things to look at. So that'll be awesome. But just gotta get there first. So I've just stopped at a really cute rest stop, cafe, camping area. I saw it when I was riding and decided to pull over. Hello! Here are all of the hammocks that are lined out. This is very typical in these types of cafes. Over here actually is an area where you can camp. You can also just sleep in here as well. And then inside they serve coffee and food, which food is actually normally not served at these hammock cafes, at least the ones I've been to. It's all drinks, but I think I have like a little chill. It was pretty cold driving in all the wind. It's kind of like a damp wind, I guess, driving through all of the beautiful pine trees. It's been a beautiful drive so far.
What is it?
This?
You have it too.
Coffee.
You have it too.
Yeah, throwback to when I said I didn't think today was gonna be that cool. Tomorrow probably won't be as scenic as today. You just can't say that in Vietnam at all. I think today has been my favorite day thus far. I can't stop pulling over. The views are non-stop, like absolutely non-stop. Just cliffs on one side, waterfalls on the other side. I drove through the clouds, was literally driving above the clouds for so long. It has just been so spectacular. I'm blown away. In a perfect world, I would be able to spend actual time in the places that I am biking to rather than arriving, having sort of an afternoon, evening in the place, and then leaving really early the next morning. The TED is on the 29th. My Airbnb is booked started the 28th. And like I could roll up on the actual Tet, but it is probably gonna be a madhouse in Hoi An. As much as I would want to spend the day at least one time in these places, I like tried to make that work. It's just not in the cards for this trip. But between the countless hammock cafes and roadside snack breaks, friendly encounters with locals, and riding through little villages and gorgeous mountain roads, I was having the road trip of a lifetime. And it just kept getting better and better. We've officially made it to the coast! Woo! After 7 hours of riding, I finally made it to my hostel on one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. But despite being in paradise, the last 5 days of non-stop riding was starting to take its toll on me, both physically and emotionally. Honestly, I'm at the point now where I just kind of want to be done. I am so tired. It's day 6 of driving for 5 to 7 hours a day. What I didn't show you yesterday was that after the initial excitement of reaching the ocean, I was hit with relentless 40-mile-per-hour winds that were so strong that I had to use all my focus and strength just to stay upright. Turns out motorbiking in the wind is not very fun at all. I literally thought I was gonna get blown off the road. The last 2 hours were exhausting. But after a quick power nap in a hammock underneath the highway, I made it safe and sound to my hostel. I think I'm really dehydrated. I've been having a horrible headache since last night. And yes, this red blotch on my face is from my helmet. It's a little snug, a little heavy right here. And this morning I'm actually still here because it was raining and the wind gusts are up to 35 miles an hour. So that combination did not sound good to drive in. So I'm gonna head out of here in probably an hour. Just booked my place for the night, about halfway to Hoi An. I'm in the home stretch, so I just wanna get it done. I know I can do it. But yeah, I'm definitely on the struggle bus right now. As soon as the rain stopped, I made a break for it, thinking the weather had cleared, but I very quickly realized that I was wrong. God, I think I'm through the worst of the rain. That definitely came down a lot harder than I was expecting. But I have my rain pants on and my rain jacket. It's pretty cold, so I'm gonna put my light down jacket on that I brought just in case. That was intense. But I'm driving towards sunshine, so I hope that means that we're through the worst of the rain. Hopefully. Got about 2 hours, hour 45 left. So probably 2.5 or so. I also may or may not have brought an entire pizza with me and strapped it under the bungee cords on the back of my bike. But as of right now, pretty grateful that I did that. All right, we're ready to go. I had gone from 0 to 100 the second I arrived here in Vietnam without a moment to catch my breath. So it felt almost impossible that it had only been a few days. I had already experienced a full spectrum of emotions, from joyful exhilaration and excitement to intense exhaustion and loneliness. But even in my lowest moments, when I wanted nothing more than to get off my bike and into a bed, I knew deep down that the struggles on this trip would be just as important as the triumphs. Okay guys, it is day 7. Day 7 of driving 5 to 7 hours a day on my gorgeous, lovely, perfect motorbike that I love so much. I will not lie, I'm pretty excited to be done with this first leg of the trip, but that's not to say it hasn't been absolutely incredible. So challenging in a really good way. It's really pushing me out of my comfort zone, which was honestly like the #1 goal for me of this trip and the reason why I decided to do it. So definitely achieving that. I'm exhausted, I'm a little emotionally drained, and ready to be around people. I have a few friends that are gonna be in Hoi An, so I'm really excited to see them. But yeah, 200-kilometer day. Probably get there in about 4 or 5 hours, and we'll see what Hoi An has in store for us. As I neared the end of this first week, I realized how much my confidence had grown. Not just in my ability to get from point A to point B, but in my capacity to adapt and handle anything that came my way. To do something this challenging alone, with nobody else to rely on but myself, it hits different. It really does. And I knew that if I just continued moving forward into the unknown and embraced the inevitable challenges rather than living in fear, that the beauty of the world would reveal itself to me. So many little random acts of kindness on this road trip that literally just make me love the Vietnamese people so much. First of all, I show up at this cafe really excited to chill and have a coffee and just like rest because I'm exhausted, but we're almost to Hoi An. They were closed, which is not unexpected because the Tet is tomorrow. So I was just sitting on the side of the road on my phone, like looking for somewhere else to go. And as I was getting up to leave, the family comes back and they asked me, they're like, "Are you alone?" Like, the cafe. I was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Are you open?" And they were like, "No, but come sit down." They gave me a chair and they served me a little coffee for 15,000 dong. And I'm just sitting here and they said, "We have to go, we have to do some personal family matters, but feel free to stay as long as you want and just rest." And I was like, "Thank you." And then 20 minutes later, the son comes and just brings me a little smoothie. He goes, "It's on me, enjoy, safe travels." So nice. I needed this so bad. I literally feel like he was just an angel sent to me to give me this NutriBoost mango smoothie. Good morning from Hoi An, Vietnam. Guys, I made it. I made it. I can honestly say that this past week was one of the most incredible and challenging weeks of my life, especially doing all of it alone. I've already learned so much in just 1 week of doing this, so I can't even imagine what the next few months hold, but the funny part is the fact that I arrived here in such a rush, did not take one break for 7 days because I wanted to make it here in time for the Tet, aka Lunar New Year. I arrive on the eve of the Tet, and I was unaware that it is quite similar to how we celebrate New Year's Eve in the US, where New Year's Eve is the celebration and then New Year's Day is sort of like, I don't know, you're just sort of hanging out. So I arrived on basically New Year's Eve, and that was the big celebration. All the fireworks were happening, there was a huge thing on the river, and I could not, for the life of me, peel myself out of bed to go to a loud, crowded area for fireworks at midnight. It was just not happening. I passed out at like 9 p.m. So yeah, the next day I walked around Old Town, but to be honest, like, it was just crowded. Obviously Old Town's amazing, you'll see in the next video, but yeah, there wasn't really much of a point of me rushing, although it would have been kind of insane to drive in on the actual Tet, so no regrets. But yeah, didn't really get the Lunar New Year experience I was expecting, but hey, we are here, we made it, and that is all that matters. So I'm here for 2 weeks, and I'm really gonna take this time to rest and recharge because, yeah, I really need it after that past week and then the previous 2 weeks in Japan. This is just gonna be a really nice reset for me before the rest of my trip. So, got my instant coffee, got this gorgeous view around me. We're gonna soak in Hoi An, and I'm really excited to show you kind of what I get up to in the next video. So make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you wanna see the rest of my adventure, make sure you're subscribed. I'm really, really excited to keep documenting this and sharing the journey with you guys. So thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.